What's the German dream? Like if there's the American dream, what's the German dream?
That's a really good question. That's really cool. It's for example, as a child, I was really surprised. There was on TV show called Who's Gonna Be a Millionaire? Or I have no idea what it's called in America.
Yeah. Do you want to be a millionaire?
Yes, something like. There was a question: who's the nation of the thinkers, and what's the person who wrote poems and stuff? Like
poets, philosophers.
Yes, like who's the nation of poets and thinkers? I thought no idea, and it was like four different nations. It was United States, Britain, Germany, or Italy, or something like this.
Yeah,
I thought maybe Italy, but and then it just said, oh yeah, it's Germany. And I thought, what the fuck? And then I kind of realized that I think in the area around 1900, Germany had, I think each nation has its tipping point over the course of history, where they kind of have like their intellectual, or where they really produce cool stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of, I think Germany is like kind of like the German philosophers and the German psychologists, like especially after like World War II and stuff became pretty popular, right? And so
tell me, what do you think as an American of German?
I don't know if the average American would say Germany, philosophy, and then of course the automobile industry when it comes to like things that define Germany.
But to refer to what's the German dream, I think it changed extremely over time. So way back in that day, I think it was just what's the things you should do, like in German we call it Pflichten.
Like your role, like your identity, I don't know, something along those lines.
I think role would fit better. That was
like do your job.
Like do your job and fit in your role into society, economy, and in your family.
That makes sense.
And if you get the idea of fitting in those roles, everything's good. That's what our professor told us. One idea way back then. Then I think it changed to this whole natural science stuff in the 50s. So we had like tons of really good engineers, and I think that's really cool. And way back then, that was the way to go to have a career. Then, in my opinion, it changed in the 80s from this engineering standpoint to the more economic standpoint. So all the persons who want to have a career and live the dream, if there's something like this, they changed it from this more natural science to economics. And now I think it's kind of a little bit moved to media and technology and all this stuff. But I think it has good reason for now that there's no German dream, because the last time Germans thought they had a dream, it went really bad.
It was a nightmare.
So I think the whole idea of being really good in something and this whole genius and working hard, I think that's get less and less over time, but there's still some groups who think that. Sometimes it has, or general, I think in my opinion, why it went wrong is because Germany went from we're a really cool country to we are better than other countries. And I think that's not now, but way in the Second World War. I think that's the main thing where things get wrong.
Dangerous, yeah.
Yeah. So
I like that nationalism to the extreme extent.
Yes, because the point where you put some nation over another, it's a really abstract concept, but the concrete decisions that are taken after that are really wrong. So I think that's the reason why for me it was so strange even here. What's the German dream? Because there's actually I think a song from how that song is called, but that's no, sorry, get it wrong. I think that's the German dream for like persons. I think the American dream is the same, like
because I feel like with the American dream, I mean maybe it's changed a little bit over time, but it's still been pretty consistent to start your own business make a name for yourself in some way and create something that's valuable. Like, yeah, I mean, obviously there's like the buying a house or a car or something aspects of it, or buying your picket fence with a dog or something like that. But I think at its core, the American dream is very individualistic with like this overarching "we are America" type of like theme underneath it. It's like build what we are building, but we're all building together. America.
I think in relation to this, I would say the German dream is or was to study or make a good to get a good education, get into a company, work there for like all the time, and in the end have a happy life with your family and buy a house. I think that's similar, but not with this. I want to found an own company. I think that's really cool in America, because in Germany it's kind of really negatively.
Oh, there's a stigma around entrepreneurship.
Kind of. I think not really, and nobody would say this, but we learn almost nothing in school about this. And on the other hand, in Germany, there's depends in which social area you are, but or social group. But general, I think the Germans are a more envy society than the Americans.
I see.
What I really like is that the Americans say, "Hey, you did something cool. How you did it?" In Germany, the first thing is, how did the person get the money? How many people do have to work for it? Like, I think Germany
they try to like undermine the success in some way.
Yes, and that's really bad in my opinion. It's not this really bad thing as the communists do. Like, we have to get rid of.
Karl Marx.
Actually, that's the thing I always forget, that he was a German too.
Yeah,
that's so. And